Alright y'all, welcome back to Commodore Arms channel. Okay, so we've checked out a video previously of the Brits training some of the Ukrainians for combat. Now it looks like the Netherlands is actually doing a very similar thing. So what we saw before was cool because they got a lot of those basic infantry skills. Now it looks like this is Operation Interflex, and I guess they're doing a very similar thing. They kind of set up like a 5-week course. Now I'm not sure if they did it in collaboration with a few others. The description says that the UK, Norway, Canada, Denmark, Finland, New Zealand, and Sweden also had instructors that kind of played a part in this. So I'm not sure if that was like their own program or if they all kind of assisted together, but looks like it's pretty freaking cool. And again, we've seen some good stuff with them training those Ukrainians up with those basic infantrymen and basic combat skills. So I'm excited. Let's just get right into it.
Ze willen meer weten over het bepaalde onderwerp, meer weten over het wapensysteem waar we ze in opleiden. Ze willen steeds maar meer. Meer. Nou, ik denk dat ze er toch wel bewust van zijn dat hun leven eraan hangt van deze 5 weken.
Breaking news.
Yeah, well said.
It's war.
Direct na de toespraak waren op meerdere plekken in Oekraïne explosies en bombardementen te horen.
Dit is een
wild
dag
footage, man.
voor Oekraïne, voor Europa, voor de hele wereld.
Minister van Defensie Olympia die benadrukte gisteren dat Nederland Oekraïne blijft steunen.
Het is ontzettend belangrijk dat we met Nederlandse trainers een bijdrage leveren aan Interflex. Dat is een grootschalige training voor Oekraïne.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of videos from the Dutch military, and I've always been pretty impressed. Like, I think I said the Dutch Marines were, I think, the closest to the U.S. Marines that I have seen as far as like their training, their aggression, their kind of mentality as well, their fitness. Royal Marines, you'd like to compare the two, but again, they're kind of like a step above the U.S. Marines, to be honest. But Dutch Marines seem very similar to the U.S. Marines as far as that mentality.
Trainers een bijdrage leveren aan Interflex, wat is een grootschalige training voor Oekraïnse militairen. Het is hard nodig. Zij voeren die oorlog. Dankzij de Britse ondersteuning kunnen er veel militairen hier worden opgeleid.
All right. It's nice when you get a good video to summarize everything too. What is that? Some pyrotechnics or something?
90 mannen en vrouwen van 13 lichte brigade zijn in Engeland. Daar leiden ze Oekraïense vrijwilligers op tot basisinfanterist.
I want to see what was going on there. Okay, so they're in England actually doing this, which, okay, so I imagine those other countries that we talked about, those instructors are also in England, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if they're like developing like a NATO sort of standard as far as tactics, or, well, I guess maybe even not, because Finland and Sweden are there as well. So I don't know, I guess they're kind of just doing like a round robin of all these different countries' tactics, which is kind of cool.
Infanterist. In slechts 5 weken moeten de trainees gereed zijn om terug te gaan naar Oekraïne.
That's an interesting tactic. I see that one a lot. We've done it in the U.S. Army, to be honest. Not a big fan of that.
Grote verandering
but do what you gotta do.
In de personen die eigenlijk gewoon letterlijk als burgerpersoon hier binnenkomen en een stuk weerbaarder en een stuk opgeleider teruggaan naar Oekraïne.
Naast militaire basisvaardigheden als wapenleer en eerste hulp krijgen de Oekraïense soldaten onder andere les in het optreden in stedelijk gebied.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking important with the terrain that we've seen and the combat that we've seen.
As they start firing, will be smoke. Yeah, and as the smoke is big enough to cover the sides of the building.
Yeah, I will say working with a translator kind of helps with instruction because like I'm pretty comfortable instructing with most things, but again, it kind of allows you to like really get your thoughts, but it can be hard sometimes without using like certain military jargon or certain like infantry terminology. It doesn't really translate perfectly.
The first 2 persons will go forward. They will only fire at the top windows when they're gonna breach it. Take cover. 4 people into the bushes right there. I'm switching. First 2 go forward.
I wonder how they actually get selected to do this training. If they have to apply, or does the Ukrainian military just kind of send people anyway? Because I would definitely apply for this. I'd want to do it. Okay, a little support by fire while they're attacking. Some obscuration. The window's not even that tall. Okay. I mean, the window's not that tall. You could really just step over that. You're not really going to be any quicker stepping on this dude. You could probably just like throw your leg over and you'll be good. Maybe like have to take a seat real quick as you're getting through. But I mean, this is a little bit more detrimental. I've seen this go wrong a lot of times, which is why I never train it myself. But again, do what you got to do to a point.
Okay, Andex. Pick up the grenade. How was it going? Good? Good? Yeah, okay, let's go outside. First person checks the door.
Перша людина перевіряє двері.
Yeah, gives the signal breacher up.
Коли поступає сигнал breach, будуємо breach.
Door is getting breached, and then the first thing you do is
Тоді
check the corner, okay?
розбиваєте і перевіряєте кути.
Gotta demonstrate this as well, which is we're not really seeing a whole lot of demonstration. It looks like it's literally just him doing the instructing. Like when it comes to CQB, you really need some people to demonstrate it because again, like the terminology gets kind of hard sometimes to actually explain what you want them to do. But yeah, it's a lot better when you have like an example for them to strive for and they can kind of just copy what you're doing. And I think, what is it? Fake it till you make it. That works a lot with CQB. If you just see someone making like the right movements, you can kind of mirror that and it works out a little bit better. Dang, sucks I gotta use the SA-80s though. I guess it's good for CQB.
Leva chista. Leva chista. Brava chista. Okay, be ready before you enter the room, eh? As soon as you've seen the corner, you start turning up on 1 meter in front of your body.
Wow, okay.
Go in, walk like me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say basically. Yeah, and it does help when there's at least like one other person to watch. I mean, it gets to the point where you kind of understand if somebody's having some issues or if like the entire team is like doing pretty well. But it is a little bit nice to have like a second set of eyes. I wonder what rank he is. It looks like he's probably like a pretty like lower enlisted. I don't know though. Seems like he knows what he's doing. He's pretty confident.
Ja, eigenlijk het vuur zien we ze in de ogen branden zodra ze een wat zwaardere opdracht krijgen. En tijdens het schieten of tijdens de opdracht die we ze geven, de vragen die we terugkrijgen, die eigenlijk vrij slim zijn. Ze willen meer weten. Ze willen meer weten over het bepaalde onderwerp, meer weten over het wapensysteem waar we ze in opleiden. Ze willen steeds maar meer.
You don't want to learn about the SA-80.
Ik denk dat ze er toch wel bewust van zijn dat hun leven eraan hangt van deze 5 weken.
No, that's good. That's awesome that they're actually taking it seriously and asking some good questions. It's important. It kind of shows their commitment to it. Meanwhile, he's got the jet boil. He's like, I'm not trying to mess around with that little stove thing. He had his spork in his pocket? Interesting. Okay. And that right there, like, just BSing and eating chow together.
Ja, het komt wel heel dichtbij hier.
Good bonding.
In Oekraïne. En dan vooral de verhalen die we krijgen vanuit de Oekraïners, komt best wel direct over. Je moet het een plekje geven. En je moet er eigenlijk leren mee omgaan. En voornamelijk omdat je hier bent voor een bepaald doel. En dan moet je dat even aan de kant kunnen zetten. En we hebben het erover met de collega's, we hebben het erover met hun. En zo geef je een plekje. En dan kun je eigenlijk elkaar mee ondersteunen.
Yeah, and it's tough as an instructor. It's much more personal when you're sending people who are going to need to rely on these skills in like the very near future, as opposed to teaching people infantry skills or marksmanship skills, when you know there's no real threats, at least that you see, you're kind of just preparing them in case they do need to use it. But they know that these individuals are going to go to those locations that are actively at war. So it's definitely much more personal for the instructors. And it's likely or possible that they won't even hear from them once they go abroad. So that might weigh a little bit more on their minds as far as not actually hearing from them, after the training. So definitely a tough thing for the instructors. But these guys are handling it well. And again, that interest really kind of supports the idea that they're ready.
Ja, die loopgraven zijn zeer bijzonder. Eigenlijk hebben we dit sinds de Eerste Wereldoorlog als Nederlanders niet meer gezien. En nu komt het toch wel weer terug, de loopgravenoorlogvoering.
Oh yeah, true that. We trained a lot in the Marine Corps, to be honest, as far as like attacking a trench. But moving through a trench system is pretty wild. It's basically like CQB, but grittier and a little bit more exposed.
We hebben zelfs gekregen dat een aantal compagnieën die niet door ons waren opgeleid terugtrokken. En de lui die wij opgeleid hebben, die bleven juist zitten op hun positie en motiveerden de andere lui om weer door te gaan met vechten. Ja, dat soort berichten krijgen we eigenlijk terug. Ja, dat maakt je trots natuurlijk.
Nice. Okay. That was freaking awesome. Again, it's really nice when we get to see these videos of the good work that they're doing. And of course, we've seen it with other countries as far as them designing their own sort of course or infantry combat skills course for the Ukrainians to kind of prepare them for what they're going to be going into. And of course, if you guys have any other videos of any other countries and it sort of showcasing the courses that they've developed for these Ukrainians, then I would love to check that out because it's really fascinating stuff. Again, and with the Brits, we saw sort of a lot of I think they were attacking like a breach. So we saw, like the obscuration, them trying to defeat that and then sort of moving. But a lot of the things that we're seeing are also kind of a standard as far as establishing a support by fire, having this maneuver element. Very basic, very crucial infantry skills. But those fundamentals are absolutely going to be key because at the end of the day, you're not going to be relying on that really sexy stuff. You're going to be falling back on those basics. And if you have a good understanding of those, you can kind of, move all over the place. And as long as those other individuals were trained similarly, you'll be able to operate pretty effectively as a team without having to, break the rust too much. But yeah, they're going over like marksmanship skills, I'm sure as well, which also help. But it's really, really cool to see all the support that's coming from all these different countries and all the effort that's coming from all the individuals as far as like the instructors, because you can tell, and we saw it with the Brits as well, they're taking it very, very seriously. And of course, it's unfortunate that they need to, know these skills. But again, like we can see Russia is not really going to stop what they're doing in the near future, at least. So I'm sure these guys understand they need to be prepared for, what might lie ahead. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see more sort of Ukrainian focused stuff, because I've seen like an interest in that, then I'll try and do that as well. Combat footage, I'll try and do every now and again if I can. But again, YouTube doesn't like that as much. So I'm not sure if I'll do too much of that. But again, these videos are awesome as well because we can see all the different efforts coming from all these different countries, seeing the mindset with the instructors, the mindset of the students, seeing what these Ukrainian troops are training like, what they're looking like, what they're thinking like. Yeah, it's really fascinating stuff. But yeah, that is it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next one.